Welcome back guys to another video. Today we're going to be dropping another video on minion build as you see the thumbnails. Uh, Thank you for all the support guys. We are almost there to 700 subs. Thank you for all the comments, likes, shared, subscribe, and hit that bell for notification. We're going to get right into it. Today we have a special guest, Mr. Hero. He is the rank 1 in NA. He's gonna drop us some knowledge on minion builds, and it's gonna be the Wrathful Rune Knight. It's gonna be one of the builds that's gonna run through for you guys. We're gonna run through for you guys. Real quick on any questions you have, please leave it in the comments, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. Uh, Other than that, let's get right into it. So, welcome. Hello, Mr. Hero. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for the invitation. How are you?
Good, good, good. We are doing good. Thank you. So let's go real quick right into the gears. Can you quickly explain to everyone on the channel why you taking specific things, and is it double authority, or like how should we focus to get the most maximum damage that we can for our minion build? So let's head off with the weapons and then go down the list of everything that you've
Uh,
chosen, and go ahead.
yep. No, wait me a second. The problem is I didn't change my helmet, dude. I didn't change my helmet. Sorry, and my belt.
Okay, no problem, no problem, no problem.
Eh, just wait me a second.
Not a
I'm so
problem.
sorry. Um,
So
okay.
again, guys, as he's changing his gear to showcase you guys the maximum damage that we can output. So this build we're focusing on giving beginners players to push content, just focusing on a lot of damage and trying to speed through like maps and contents as fast as you can. So that way you can get to like the end game potential that you want to play with this build. Okay. Are we all good?
I'm on that. I'm on that. Just give me one more second, please. I just forgot
It's all
to
right. It's
change
all
the
right.
helmet and the belt. Um. Okay, so I'm ready.
All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at the weapons and down the list as we go. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm looking at the weapons right now. So what authority did you use to make this weapon critical damage? Is it ideal to get weapon minion critical damage, or like crit rate, or what should we focus on?
Okay, so on the weapon, you want to focus on the suffixes. Most of the thing that is most important mode is the minion critical rate. As you can see on the weapon, the minion critical rate is flat. So you don't care about the critical rate in other part of your gear. You just focus on your weapon. Like you just want to focus the minion critical rate. And you can take an authority to get the rune like critical damage and minion critical damage. Of course, the rune critical damage value is higher than the minion critical damage. You can focus on only suffixes and try to gamble the prefixes, or you can either get the six modes and try to force it. The prefix that is more important is the minion damage amplification on the prefixes, and you can rather gamble on traces, the minion critical damage that is gonna be the highest value for you to get the damage, or you can get minion area of effect for better clearing.
Perfect. Perfect. And then what? The helmet, pretty straightforward, right? We want a lot of skill rune effect. Perfect. All right.
Correct.
And then the shoulders, same thing. We want a lot of skill wound effect, which is perfect. Um, and why did you take resource dampening cost? Is it due to the fact that um, they use a lot of mana?
Yes, so Minion has like certain situation that most of the people might not know, and it's the more minions you have, it takes more resources for you to summon. Let's say if you're using Whirlwind and it's taking 25 mana, and you have one Rune Knight, it's gonna take like 32. But if you have one or two Abyssling, that's gonna go up, up, up. Because the minion that is spawned, it takes like an aura. It takes like
Ah,
your resource.
I see. Okay. Now that explains why we must take resource dampening so that we can sustain. All right, good.
Correct.
And then the gear, the armor. So I see here that you're going for dodge this season and more HP. Okay, pretty straightforward. And then the uh sorry, excuse me. The jewels is gonna be the skill, defense skill, and resource.
The jewels I
Yeah,
recommend people like to not mess with. You can, like at the high end game gear, you can always take like, tenacious personality to
I
get the
see.
enhanced duration and everything.
I
But
see.
there is like a common work that you can do and just take minion damage amplification on all the
Right.
black jewels, right?
Okay, so you want to take a lot of minion damage amplification. Okay, perfect,
Correct.
perfect. All right, gloves. Pretty straightforward. Lots of damage amplification here. You don't care about the minion attack speed amp.
So the thing is, we don't have the minimum attack speed amp. So
Oh,
you just get the minimum attack speed on prefix, and there is another minion damage on prefix. If you want to gamble yourself, right, you can get the 5 mods and try to do it. But in this case, what I'm doing with my gloves is to have 4 mods, because for me it was easier to gamble the legendary and get the minion damage there, rather than try to get the prefix and minion attack speed and minion damage, and try to force the legendary with the guaranteed. So because I didn't want to spend a lot of resources, I rather want to do the partial reversion. And because the gloves has 4 mods, there's not gonna be mod removal. So
I
it's gonna
see.
stay with the 4, and I can guarantee
So
the
that's why. So
legendary.
that's why you stick with just 4 mods, or
Correct.
yeah, instead of going to 6 mods, which is then harder to do, right?
Correct. But the other 2 mods that you can get from prefixes on gloves, the ideal thing is that you can get flat HP and the minion damage. But
I
because
see.
it's so hard to get, I just made it like 4.
Perfect. Thank you for the explanation, because I was wondering why there's only 4 and not 6. Okay. And now the boots, same thing. Resource reduction, resource cards, last HP, attack enhanced, perfect, attack enhanced, skill rune effect. Um, lots of, okay, perfect, good. And then necklace.
Necklace, you want the
Why?
pulverize
Why?
effect
Yeah.
on.
Okay. So why? Explain why the pulverized effect.
So the pulverize effect gives you a chance for you to bleed, because you're gonna see on the skill runes after that uh, your rune is gonna be able to put bleed effect on the
On the enemy.
status effects on the enemies.
Okay.
And the pulverize effect is gonna give you more chance for that to work, and
Plus you
it
get the
gives the
damage.
10%
Yeah.
damage amplification. So
Perfect.
if you put in comparison the minion damage penetration with the minion damage amplification, you always want to go for the damage amplification in order to get more damage.
Okay. Perfect. And then self-explanatory for the belts. Skill rune effect, minion crit rate, reduction of damage. All right.
So
Is there a better belt to use, like a belt that give convert mana or something, or would that
it,
works?
No, so the best belt that you can get from for minions is to get the skill rune effect and the minion critical damage. In my case, I got the minion critical rate and I didn't want to force it anymore. You can see that I don't have the jewels put on it.
Right.
But the minion damage that you get when you're drinking mana potions, like, it's almost like 200%. It's like a lot, and because you're gonna see in the link runes that minion takes a lot of damage, you can take the suffixes for element damage taken by minion dampening and physical damage taken by minion dampening. So you
I
can
see. I
always
see.
take damage reduction for them.
Perfect. And then of course, rings. Again.
Okay, so in rings, I put 2 rings. The first one, as you can see, is like a less, investment value. You can take the
Ah.
minion damage and the totem duration.
Mhm.
So you can prioritize skill rune effect with the minion critical damage and a suffix you want to take minion. So the ideal thing is you can take minion critical rate, critical damage, and the pulverize effect. So we are gonna amplify the
Even
pulverize
more.
effect that way.
Right. Right.
Correct. And
Correct.
the
Okay.
second one is the endgame version that you can see. We are using in this case 3 authorities. So it's gonna be like the skill rune effect, minion damage amplification, and the pulverize effect.
Wow, that's something that is something crazy for everybody to do. But at your status, you can do that. That's perfect. So this is gonna be like it's doable, but it's gonna take a lot of investment, guys. All right. That's pretty well explained on the gears. Now we're gonna go into the hardest one to discuss would be the charms. Uh, so to me, my understanding, guys, is that we see in that the game is telling us to take Scepter and Aquilia, right? Due to the fact you get some damage on Aquilia, and then you get a ton of damage on the Scepter. So why do should we focus on just Scepter, hero?
So Scepter is gonna give you minimum HP, minimum damage, and gives you all the minimums that you're getting from the value, right? For the percentage.
Right.
Scepter is more focused on minion in all aspects. But I say to the people that if you have the opportunity to get 230, that's gonna be huge. But if you cannot, you don't have to worry. The most valuable thing is to get it at least to 140.
Perfect. Okay. And should we like focus on like some Hamal, like let's say 80% on Hamal, like spread it out for beginners, like for players like me, like if I want to play a minion build and I don't have enough HP, should I focus on Hamal and then like just keep Sabdar 140, or should I like invest all in Sabdar 230 and then you know etc., or should I focus on like the Lacrima that's gonna give me what I want?
So there is like a dream scenario that I see normally, right?
Right. So
If you're
let's talk about the ideal and end game possibility. What should it be?
So in my case, the dream scenario, I would take Zevdar, Aquila, and Leo. That 230, 230, and 140. The reason for that is you get the all the minion damage amplification from Zevdar and all the minion damage amplification, and of course the chance to deal double maximized damage on Aquila. And in Leo, you're gonna have that dodge rate plus the minion critical rate and the minion critical damage. So having a
Perfect.
140
Perfect.
helps a lot in
I
question
see.
of damage.
I
For
see.
survivability, you can always change Leo to Hamal
Mm, I see.
or
I
take
see.
another option depending on what you want.
I see. Okay. I didn't even expect that Leo. That Leo just came out from nowhere. Good job, Leo. Hero. Thank you very much. Um, and I see that you take caster because of your Lacrima, right? Right.
Correct.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the thing is, nowadays Lacrima is pretty much nerfed. The drop rates are pretty low. And Minions has a requirement that you need the 200 and 100. So in my case, I drop it as a caster, but if anyone can drop it as a scepter, they're lucky. They're so lucky that I hope like everyone get it.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
yeah, that,
Can you
that's the idea.
explain what you did here with your Lacrima here? Um,
Yeah,
so
sure.
is it ideal to get two rares, or is it just ideal to get a blue and a rare? Cause
So
I see two hand blue, which is magic, where you only get three stats, and then I see here that you have six stats for the rare. So can you
So
explain
I'll
that
tell
real quick?
you my own opinion, right?
Okay.
Even if two of them are magic,
Mm.
I think it is pretty worth it.
Oh,
The
okay.
reason that you want to get the two-handed and one-handed, there are only two reasons for that. And the reason is as your main weapon that you can see in my case is that I'm taking the minion critical rate as you can see is flat, right? So that means that
Mm.
I'm having 50% minion critical rate flat. So that's gonna cover for all the levels the critical rate. So you don't have to worry on changing on traces
Mm.
in
I
any
see.
part of your gear.
Mhm.
So the minion damage amplification that you get from the two-handed weapon, and you can take maximize minion damage or you can take minion critical damage. It doesn't matter. Like the traces is gonna hit rather minion critical damage or minion area of effect. But the only thing that you want to take care on the two-handed weapon is always the same: minion critical rate and the minion damage amplification.
Okay, that sounds perfect. So guys, real quick, so what Hero is trying to say with traces is the high traces that you do at the alchemy table, at the crafting. This is what he meant with traces. So just we are clear so that you guys don't have any questions. This is what he meant for traces and high traces, right? So make sure you guys have the items for that. I just show you guys there. And then let's continue with going back to the charms real quick. So this is what hero has on his charm. So I see here you focus a lot on the legendary effect of minion damage amplification, and not any crit damage.
Correct. So it is super easy for minion critical damage to be fulfilled. And the more you have, you're gonna see that it's gonna have less value. So in this case, having a minion critical damage on a legendary after the 1200, after the 1100, you're gonna see that the value is gonna be less reliant, and the minion damage amplification is gonna hard scale that minion critical damage. That's why in legendary you want to focus on minion damage amplification.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Now we're gonna head over to the biggest thing. We're gonna start doing the relics, right? So what should we focus on?
So I always let the people decide, but I rather prefer to get the caster one first. And the reason for that is because normally the people are farming more than killing bosses, right? Uh, in my case, the Phantom effect that gives the avatar of caster and the speed that you can get from the acceleration active is gonna be like a huge value on the early game. After that, I'll go for Akubent because it's gonna give you the passive for the minion critical rate and minion critical damage, and having the 26% is gonna be huge. And at least, but not last, the Avatar of Vesper, because you're gonna see that you're gonna have some problem with your mana, and not because the problem by itself, but the problem that your rune knight is gonna be evolving, and the more abyssling you have, the more rune knights you have, and your game style is changed. You're gonna see that there's gonna be like a little mana problem with all your aura stacking. So you rather want to take the Avatar of Vesper, and the active is gonna be the Curse of Withering, because that chance to deal double maximum damage is gonna be a huge reliant for minions to do damage.
Perfect, perfect. Sounds good. So, guys, again, just focus on your caster going into your Alcubin, the passive skill. Again, just recapping what Hero was saying. You want the enhanced minion critical hit, and then you can go into the Vesper for the potions that controls your mana, and then on top of that, if you want to use Vesper, then you would use the Cursed Withering. Okay, and then go from there. And then you want the additional curse effect with the cooldown, right? Oh,
Yes, it's gonna be additional curse effect to get the 30% critical damage
mm,
and the cooldown recovery. That cooldown
yeah,
recovery is huge
yeah,
because it's not of the effect of the curse that every single package that you're gonna encounter when you're cleaning maps,
mm,
they're like focused like in a small space.
I
And when
see.
you're using the withering, you're gonna take advantage of the cooldown, and every 3 seconds you're gonna be hitting like all the package.
Perfect, perfect. All right, that's the relics. Well done. Now we're gonna go into the mastery. So mastery, um, we're gonna focus on the complete support one for the minion damage, and then we go for the cooperation one, and then we're gonna go focus on the complete support 3. All right, and then for alchemy, you guys want to take all the potions, cooldowns, and recovery. Focus on the mana one first, right, hero?
Yes,
Yes.
and the reason for that is because you're gonna see later on that minion has life steal, so you don't have to worry about it.
All right, perfect, perfect. All right, that's done with the mastery. Now let's tackle the Zodiac real quick. We're gonna take a look at hero Zodiac. All right, let's start with Zodiac one. Go one by one down the road.
Okay.
All right. So pretty straightforward. You want to take the concentrated, right? The planes, and then two. Why shout?
Case normally,
Sorry, excuse me. Why the shout effect? I'm sorry.
okay, normally when people are playing the game, right, you want survivability, and normally when you're in the early game, in this case, most of the people are taking Shout of Provocation because it gives vampire effect and it gives, the armor amplification on it.
Mm,
So you want to use the Shout of Provocation early on to not die.
okay. And
That's
then
why I'm taking
and
Shout.
then forest, I see that you take all the melee damage, right?
Is minion damage? Yes,
Yes.
and the
Okay.
minion critical rate.
Right. So let's say would it be best to take forest first before you take the wander, which give the shower effect? Is that kind of like you want six links shower effect? Because at like a beginner level, getting six links to shout is pretty hard because you're mainly focusing on your other skill. So
Yes, I would rely more on the damage. So, for
yeah,
example,
let's
instead of
okay.
having 5 points on Wanderer in the Zodiac,
Yeah,
I would take like even the minimum attack speed,
right. Okay.
with the HP early on.
All right, then three. I see here you do a lot of recovery on your potions. Would it be better to take the minion?
I think you don't need a lot of points. I would suggest just take the minion damage, like pretty straightforward. Just take the damage and just go path through, and normally in the early game you're not gonna have that lifesteal, so I recommend going to the mana potion effect or HP potion effect, depending on your playstyle. Like
Okay.
if you get a lot of hits, just take the HP potion. If you're having problem with your mana because you're summoning too much, just
Mm,
take the mana potion effect.
okay. And then you didn't take anything on four.
There is no for minions, sadly.
Okay.
As you can see,
Yeah.
number four, there is no
All
minion
right, and then
really
five,
on a.
we are taking Hera again for shout rune effect, right? And
Uh,
skill enhance. Okay.
Yes,
All
but
right.
that's for later on. I normally don't recommend people to taking that. I rather spend the points on the fruit in the Zodiac 5. I would take even the minion HP and damage against elites and
Ah,
everything.
I see.
I would take the 16 points in here.
Okay. So
Rather than trying.
yeah, fruit is looking good for beginners. Um, again, guys, don't take Hera. Hera is for like towards, doing one level 150 or level 145 maps. So this fruit is very good for beginners. So you want to take all the HP, elite hunting dog, hunting grounds, um, and then you took also
The lightning one.
the lightning one. Yes,
Correct. Because it's the damage. Like pray forward. The minion damage, minion damage, minion damage.
perfect, perfect. And then sixth, we are
In number six, I'm taking, breath. I don't know which one you're taking.
yes, breath, and then explosive instinct. Why didn't you take area effect?
On which one? Sorry.
On breath.
Oh, okay. So something that you have to know is the area effect that it says only area effect. The problem is that that's gonna apply only to your character, but it's not gonna apply to
Mm,
minions.
I see.
So when you want an area effect for minions, you want to have it with a
Minion.
minion tag.
Oh, minion tag, like minion area
Yes,
effect.
correct.
Ah, I see, I see. Did not know that. Okay, very good. And then you took flow. Ah, for the minion damage, minion damage. Okay, I see. And then you took float, minion damage, minion crit, minion damage amp. Okay. And now we go nothing on seven.
There is no seven.
Okay. I see. And then eight, you took
On eight, There's gonna be people, right, that is gonna have a lot of points because you're not taking all the enhanced effect early on. So
Mm,
I recommend people to take to Commander of Darkness, right?
right,
But
right. All the way to Commander of Darkness to get some more damage on your minions. Okay,
yes,
right. Okay, so that's those are crit rate, crit damage, crit rate. That's a lot. Okay, so that's good. And then 9 we
in
have
9, I'm taking potion effect, but that's later on for different purposes.
mm,
But you want to take the minion damage penetration on Forest Fire.
Force Fire. You want to take the Piercing Authority?
The piercing mark. And no, I won't recommend taking the piercing authority early on because having the chance to deal maximized damage on minion is pretty bad because we don't have the triple maximized damage. It's gonna be only double
Mm,
maximized damage.
I see.
And you're losing crit rate, and with the small amount of crit rate that you have, and taking out crit rate is gonna be, like a huge deal. But something that I can recommend is if you go back to the Zodiac 8,
Mm,
most of the people is gonna have a lot of points available, right?
yes.
And there is to the left rule of blood and obedience of darkness. You can always take that in order for your minions to have more
Mm,
bleed rate,
more bleed
and you
rate, more
can
damage.
do
Mm, okay.
damage amplification.
Okay. So take those. So Commander of Darkness and Obedience. Okay, guys. And then lastly, potion. Okay. So you want a little bit more potion here. Okay. So again, what Hero is saying is that you don't have to take potions, if you're in early game. Early game, you just want a lot of damage on your minions. So you want to take as much as you can. What he's saying about piercing authority is that on for forest fire is because you don't have the chance to do a lot of double maximize or triple maximize damage, so it's not worth taking. So he was saying to take the flame mark, so that you can get some fire energy. With fire energy, you can have more damage increase, right?
Yep.
And then again you do a little bit more damage amplification, again burn enemies as well, so you're doing fire status effect, right? Okay.
No, 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 no. Minion is different. They just stack
Oh, they just
only
oh, okay, so
fire. Yes,
so they
fire
only
energy.
they can only stack fire energy. Okay, they don't do.
Yes,
Oh, okay, okay,
and you
so
don't
don't
want to
take,
take
so
the Blaze
basically
Authority.
okay,
Uh-huh.
so you just want piercing mark into flame mark. Okay, I see. Perfect, perfect.
Yes, and I won't recommend taking the flame mark on it. I would recommend going to the 8, to the Zodiac 8,
Oh, to the Zodiac
and
A to get the
taking bleeding
to
because,
get it bleeding. Oh,
uh,
okay.
yes. So you can see, and something that I can make a point here, that the Zodiac divides into different kind of rune knights. As you can see, we have
Oh,
uh,
for the cold, for the chill, oh, for the fire.
yes,
Oh,
correct. So in this case,
perfect.
because
Okay,
we
I
are
see.
playing with the Wrathful
Mm,
Rune Knight,
Wrath Rune,
you
yes.
always want you always want to take the bleed rate one.
Focus on bleed, guys. Okay, perfect. Good tip. Now lastly, let's focus on the specialized.
So I normally recommend, because we start with the 7 points, right, instead of
Mm-hmm.
9.
Yes.
So I always recommend people to taking urgent summon first rather than taking silver scale. Silver scale,
Are we talking about a specialized one?
yes,
So you want to take urgent summon? Okay, right here.
yes,
Okay, and then let's say we have 7 points. Are we taking urgent summon and then silver scale, right?
and tidal wave,
And tidal wave. Okay, so
correct.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 points, you would take urgent summon with silver scale. If you have 9 points, you would take tidal wave and silver scale.
No. Is when you have 7 points, you take urgent summon and
Mm.
tidal wave.
And tidal wave. Okay, sorry. So I got the opposite. Okay, 7 points, guys. If you have 7 points on Zodiac, please focus on urgent summon with tidal wave. Okay, and if we have 9 points, do we take
That's when you take silver scale
when you take
and
silver
tidal
scale?
wave.
Okay, I got it. Okay, perfect. And then specialized two.
The specialization number two, we have two different setups. One is going full damage, but our requirement is you're gonna take revelation, yes or yes, because revelation is gonna do is the rune knight's cognition. It's gonna increase the rune knight's cognition. That's gonna okay.
Okay, repeat that real quick.
Okay,
Revelation.
so revelation gives you the rune knight cognition, and that's gonna decrease rune knight skill cooldown. So a rune knight has a skill every time. So that skill is the most powerful weapon that has the rune knight in order to clear maps. And revelation is gonna give you the opportunity for every single monster that the rune knight kills is
Mm-hmm.
gonna decrease
That cooldown
one
of that skill.
second that cooldown. Correct.
Oh, I see. So it's important. All right.
Yes.
And
So
then
when you're clearing maps, I recommend taking Revelation. When you're bossing, I always recommend taking the Mark of Focus.
mark of focus. Okay. So take mark of focus if you're bossing, and if you're doing maps, do revelation. What's
Correct.
so if you have 7 points, so you take sharpness minion or hammock.
I recommend taking Hammock. The reason for that is the sharpness is gonna give you critical rate, but this percentage and the critical damage is not gonna be a lot of value. You
Mm,
rather want that Rune Knight has the +3, and the Rune Knight itself is gonna give you the critical rate and the damage that the Rune
anyway.
Knight has.
Okay. Okay. I see. So and then okay, I see. Sharpness minions. Okay. So would it be so this is this the ideal setup when we have 9 points?
Yes, when you have 9 points, and you're lacking damage, and sorry, and you're capped on survivability,
Mm,
I recommend going full damage. And going full damage is taking Hammock, Sharpness, and Revelation.
I see. Okay.
If you want survivability, you can change Hammock and Sharpness and go to Net.
Net. Oh, okay.
So what Net does is every single hit that the Rune Knights is absorbing HP, and they have HP absorption on every single hit, you're gonna receive that 50%
To you.
of health to
Mm,
you. Yes, so
okay.
you're
So that's
kind
like
of immortal.
so it's like a life steal.
Yes.
Okay, okay. And then specialized 3. Walk
So
us
in
through
a
this. So let's say again 7 points. Where should we take? And then end game what we should take.
Okay, so in a specialization number three, you're gonna have 9 points. There is no
Oh,
seven
okay,
point
okay.
setup.
Sorry. Yes, nine
Yes.
points. You good?
So the only thing that you want to take like really, really fast,
Mm.
as soon as you can, is the Rune Knight always gain highest level fusion buff. That is one below. So instead of getting three Abyslings to your Rune Knight to evolve, with one Abyssling is gonna be enough for you to convert that into Rune Knight.
So you gotta take that Rune Knight always gain highest level fusion buff. Okay.
Correct. That's the first
Priority.
priority.
Uh-huh.
The
Priority.
second one is gonna be invigoration.
Invigoration. So this is energy?
Yes. So what's the difference? The thing is, if you take the 30% chance to gain random element energy when minion is hit, so that's gonna be when minions are receiving hit. But invigoration is when your minion is doing the damage, you're gonna have the 20% chance to get a main element.
I see.
So the important thing about invigoration is not about the damage, is more about getting all the energy stats, because the more energy has the minion rune knight, and that's the reason that we are not taking minion attack speed, is that when they have full poison energy, or they have lightning energy, what they're gonna do is they're gonna stun the enemy, bleed the enemy, put more status effect, and it's
Right.
gonna increase the attack speed and the damage with the fire energy.
I see. So this one give you their random, right? Or
Yes, it's random, but the hit that the minion does is gonna capture really, really fast
mm.
for the minion. For the energy, sorry.
So would it be ideal to focus on just fire? Can
No,
you?
you cannot focus on one energy. It's more like he's gonna get all the energy.
Wow.
Yes.
And then
So you're not playing with only one. You're gonna be playing with all the energies.
okay, so this is 7 points. So you want to take at least the Rune Knight always gain a highest level fusion buff, and then invigoration. And then
Correct.
lastly, if you're 9 points, you want to take the stats transfer, right?
Correct. The
All
stat
right.
transfer is gonna give you minion critical rate if you're HP, but there is some people that focus on barrier, right? So they
Mm,
can take advantage and get that minion critical damage. Just remember that it has a cap of 60%, and having
mm.
600 intelligence is enough, like to cap the stat transfer.
Oh, for the crit damage.
Correct.
And then strength is 120%.
That's right.
All right. All right. Sounds pretty good. So we get the we get the idea of the rune knight. And now let's break down the major one. Let's look into the skill setup and how you set it up and how our each link, gonna be like. So let's get into it. So let's start off with the one, obviously, the rune knight. So
So,
let's break it down.
uh,
So from the tags, from like how do we get it to where it is. So let's start with the Runite. Let's break it down. So the skill has spell, minion, Runite. The tag is the attack, strike, um, area effect, physical damage, or physical and melee tags. So what does that mean? Why are they in white and not in blue?
which one, sorry?
The minion skill. The minions I'm looking at right now, it says spell minion in blue, but then Wrathful Knight has the attack tags. I'm reading the description in white.
Oh, sorry. So it says spell, minion, and rune knight, right?
Correct.
So spell. Remember that rune knight has two functionality, and that's when you're going abyssal build, and the
Mm.
other one is going the rune knight build.
Ah, I see. Okay.
And the spell means that the rune knight by itself is gonna do certain skill, right? It's
Mm.
gonna do a certain spell. Remember that we said about the rune knight cognition, right? And that spell is what the rune knight does.
Ah, I see. And the tags that give it damage would be the attack, strike, area effect, physical, and melee. Correct.
Correct.
All right.
And you can always check, always change the area of effect for concentrated area damage in order for you to have more damage.
I see. All right. And then so the Wrathful Rune does Earth Blow damage, and then basic attack. So what's the difference?
So the difference is when your rune knight is converted, it's gonna do like a shout. When the rune knight shouts, it does like a earthquake.
Yeah, Earth Blow. Yeah,
Uh,
okay.
Attack in order to kill the enemies. That's gonna be the
Mm,
most damage that it does. The other one is it has is like shout of provocation that is gonna take the aggro from the monsters. And the basic attack is when the rune goes to the monster and punch him out, literally punches,
mm-hmm. Okay, I see.
and that's the difference.
And then the awakening you took was Source for
Correct.
more area effect.
Yes, the bigger the minion, the bigger the area.
So that's why it gives the enlargement. Enlargement make them bigger in size.
Enlargement make them bigger in size, just.
Okay,
But in
perfect.
this case, because I wanted the area of effect, as you can see,
Mm,
remember that you asked me why I didn't take the area of effect, right?
mm.
And that's why I didn't have the minion tag. And this one,
Oh,
it
so it
has the
says
minion.
it has to say minion area effect. So
Correct.
having area effect on Zodiac, it just affect your character and not the minion. Got it.
Correct.
Got it. Okay. And then the runes that you chose were minion damage, awaken source, of course, for more damage. Minion presence. Why Verity?
So because the rune knight, right, has a value to regen their life. Remember that the minion presence gives you damage according to the minion HP. So having minion HP, it gives you damage. In this case, giving the minion max HP amplification is more damage than the flat HP in this case.
Oh, I see, I see. You're getting a percentage damage, and you're also getting a percentage amp. Okay, I see. So the higher the amount,
Yes, you cannot
the more
see.
damage it does. Okay.
Correct, because you cannot see the value of the HP of the rune knight. But if you get minion HP, that means damage as well. Is not always because minion HP is gonna give survivability, it's gonna give you damage as well because of the minion presence.
Perfect, perfect. And then of course area effect with the origin to get more area effect, and then strike with the source to reduce the attack speed, because this dampen attack speed a lot, but it does give a lot of strike damage. Implication, perfect. Mana storm. Uh, why Verity?
Oh, because it says the verity is you get dot amplification if you have two or more blue link runes, but you get 2.9 strike damage amplification when you have two or more red link runes. The thing is, the minion scales more with the strike damage rather than the normal damage. So if
Mm,
you compare the 49 damage that it can give you the mana storm, right?
mm,
And the 2.9 strike damage amplification, all the strike damage accumulation that you already have, the strike damage amplification has more value than the damage itself.
I see, I see. And then of course the 3% mana resource cost reduction, which is pretty good.
Uh, yes, but you're not gonna use it because you're not using any green link runes, right?
Green link runes. Okay, I see. So those need criterias to be met. Got it,
Yes,
got it, got it. Okay. And of course, melee amplification with the more a little bit more damage. All right.
correct.
And then the summoning abyss does it make a difference which one you use?
In this case, you can use two, but I always recommend the boxer, right?
Which is
If
the
you
summoning
use
abyss? Okay.
summon a Visling, it's gonna evolve your rune name to boxer, and you can use the same rune name. But if you use javelin, it's gonna convert into like a spear rune knight, and that do less damage, but it's useful. But I don't recommend it.
And then you have sacred devotion, which give minion damage in some way or
Yes, it
resistance.
gives.
Uh,
In my case, because I have the skill rune effect, it says that I have 94.7 minion damage amplification per stack.
yeah.
Um, Something that you have to take in consideration with that is gonna lower your caster armor and your elemental resist by 60% per stack.
Mm.
And you can have six stacks. So be careful with that because it's gonna be
It hurt. It give you.
360%.
Yeah, so it's like a double-edged sword where it give you damage, but you're gonna die quickly.
Yes, sacred devotion is gonna be recommended only when you want to get highest points on decent rates or DPS ranking, but never on mapping.
All right, and then the gather minion.
The gather minion is one of your source for you to have like a lot of damage when you're mapping. And as you can see, the cooldown is almost non-existent. It's only 1 second. The only link rune that you want to take in consideration in gather minion is the decreased duration to get the skill rune effect.
Mm. What about enhance effect? Would that work?
You cannot put enhanced effect on gather minion. That's the thing.
Wow. Okay, so I
So
see.
because you don't
Because
care because you're using the skill every single second, you don't need
mm,
increased duration or the time acceleration or increased duration itself. You just need the decrease effect, so you sorry, the decreased duration so you can get at least some effect because you cannot put enhanced effect on it.
I got it. Okay. Okay. And you use okay, winding wind for more movement speed. Okay.
Yes,
Okay. And then
and the
you
25% damage
and then you
standing.
awaken whirlwind uh origin to take less damage, At the same time, you link it with the minion so that every time you use whirlwind, it gathers minion. Perfect. And then
Correct.
grand approach for more tankiness. Okay.
Oh, there is a lot of people that use different kind of setups, right? You
Yeah.
can use the whirlwind in order for you to get more support farming link runes, but there's people who uses the lower decrease armor. In my case, I don't use that because of my point of view, right? Uh, when you're passing through with the whirlwind is because you want to avoid collision, so you're not hitting that many times the same monster. What you are doing is just going through. So I want, in my preference, right? In my opinion, I think grand approach is the best because when you're hitting, you're gonna be getting that regeneration, that 3% of their max HP for 2 seconds, or you can either use fighting spirit. And the reason that I don't like fighting spirit is because it requires like 20 stacks in order for fighting spirit to work, and the problem is when there is no pack of monsters or you change into another blessing or you enter into a boss room, you're gonna lose that stacking. So in my experience, grand approach is the best for survivability.
Perfect. And then we're gonna see that you use marker focus.
Correct.
All
Macro
right.
focus with enhanced effect and decreased duration. um
Okay.
the cooldown is almost non-existent, is 9.91, but I don't know if you look at your specialization number 2. When you're taking the mark of focus, you're getting 100% cooldown reduction.
Oh, I see.
So you're gonna have mark of focus back to back.
Nice, nice. Oh, right here, cooldown being 50%. Focus integral. Okay, so that's why. All right, and then the totem, of course, totem, and then regeneration, tenas regeneration. Perfect. And then explain hazy melody.
Hazy melody works, in a passive way and in an active way, right? The blue and the red one. That's most of the people know. The hazy melody low tune, what it's gonna do is gonna absorb the Abyss Link and is gonna do the skill. The Rune Knight has a skill that can be active forcefully with the Abyss Link. So every single time they eat, for example, I'm gonna put the example with the Fire Rune Knight. Every single time that the Rune Knight eats an Abyss Link, is gonna throw projectiles, and in this case, your ability is gonna be strong enough, and you're gonna be summoning like 3 or 4 of them at the same time. And the rune is gonna be eating while throwing projectiles. But your rune is not gonna evolve. That's the low tune.
Hmm.
And and of course, that 326 is gonna give you the authority effect on your abyss link. So what's gonna happen is it focus on your abyss link, but you're gonna be resummoning abyss link while your rune knight is gonna be like throwing the spells for you.
Perfect.
And the high melody is, as you know, you're getting the rune knight damage amplification, and of course you lose all the damage from the abyss link, right?
Hmm.
In order for your rune knight to evolve.
Perfect. And then of course still strike with the aura range. Reason why is so that the rune knights will get the strike, right?
Correct.
Amplification. And then miss for slowing down enemies and reduce the hit rate. That works on bosses as well. Miss totem, and then still dodge for more dodging rate, and then sour justice for CC removal,
Yep.
and then
Pretty much straightforward.
pretty straightforward. And then the United Crow is for the armors or attack speed and crit rate. So that's why.
Oh, yes.
So go ahead.
So unite crowd effect, normally people are taking it because it gives you movement speed, right?
Mm,
But as for minions, you're using the enrage crowd effect. So you're getting the attack speed, the cast speed, and the critical rate. Remember that we were taking the critical rate and not the attack speed, is
mm,
because we are getting attack speed and the critical rate from. everywhere.
Yeah, which is pretty crazy. And then the rune growth, rune stones is the +3 levels. Um,
If you have minion damage amplification, that works as well. You can take +3. That's something that I had.
right.
I have the skill rune effect on Hazy Melody to get more rune knight
Yeah,
damage
I see
amplification,
that.
and the attack and cancel
Marcus
mark of
focus. Perfect, perfect. Now that rounds out the build. Now we're gonna do a real quick map for you guys, and then that'll be end of the video, and I'm gonna do an outro. So thank you everybody for tuning in. So right now we're gonna do a real quick map. So here let's run a map and see how the setup is going, and I'll try to keep up with you and to see if I can catch up to record. If anything, please slow down so then everyone can see how the transformation works, how everything works.
So one of the thing is when you enter into a map, the first thing, okay, we are gonna wait for you. Okay.
Yeah, give me a second. I'm loading in. Um, and then go. I'm gonna follow you, and then we're gonna see. So make sure you guys turning on all your toggles before you start. And then you. So the first thing is you summon it, right?
Yes, but you can see that Rune is not gonna convert itself if they're not getting aggro. They need to be attacking.
Right.
If not, they're
So
not gonna
he's
convert.
not gonna get any bigger unless you fight. Right. Okay.
Correct. So if you get close and you see the minion is fighting, and you're gonna see that it's gonna convert, right?
Oh, he got big.
And that's how it starts clearing. And because of the minion cognition and with the whirlwind, you avoid collision, you're gonna see that it's gonna be doing the shout and clearing all the map by itself.
Perfect. Looks good. He's strong. And we're doing 155 guys. I'm just tagging along, picking up stuff. Try can you try to slow down a little bit so everyone can see like the animations and like the transformation. Just let it do its thing. As we can show everybody. Look how big he is.
So the gather minion is gonna what is gonna happen is you're gonna gather the minion to where you are. That's one thing.
So basically
And
he's gonna be always on top of you. That's what you're saying
yes,
with the
so you don't
okay.
have to worry if you go like too much in front of your rune knight or not.
Right. Okay, I
And
see.
because the cooldown is just 1 second, you don't have to worry about it.
So the idea is just you want to keep moving at all times.
Correct.
So then, does he ever get stuck?
Yeah, but every single time that he gets stuck with the gather minion, you're gonna be able to bring him back.
I see. Let me see if I can show damage other characters. Huh. Okay. I'm sure you guys want to see the crazy damage that he's doing, but he's pretty much one-shotting 155, so you can tell how much damage that is. Pretty insane. Um, So Hero, any other tips that you want to give the beginners that want to play minion build on how to like um, try to survive, trying to control mana, etc. Um,
So because it's it only has one minion, right?
yes.
I'm having only one rune knight. This gonna make the rune knight actually to not eat a lot of mana. The mana problem comes when you have two rune knights. And so for now, as for survivability, I always say one thing is cap the armor, cap the resistances, and you're gonna be okay. Like minion is pretty straightforward because you're not gonna be the one taking damage. As you can see, I'm not getting the aggro.
Mm,
See, like the runa is gonna be tanking it for yourself,
I
so you
see.
don't have to worry. Like we can just stay here, and the runa is gonna be the one who is facing the monster.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right, guys. We're gonna do an outro. Thank you for everybody that's tuning in. It's gonna be a little bit long video today. But I hope you guys are getting some good tips and ideas. Thank you, Hero, for joining us today. I really appreciate it. This is the only build that I don't have. Thank you for putting it up on my channel. Again, please leave a like, share, subscribe, guys, and leave any questions you have in the comments. I hope this was a little bit helpful for you guys. If you have any problems and you were playing minion builds and you come into a wall and you doesn't know what to do, so I hope this cleared up some stuff for you guys. Again, Hero, thank you so much for your time.
No, thanks to you. Thanks to you for the invitation.
All right, thank you guys. That'll be the end of the video. I appreciate everybody. Thanks. Have a good one.